Just so that we're clear before the video begins, this video is not about opinions. This video is about facts. Any comment you make about Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump will be kept in the comments forever, no matter how much you cuss. So, if you don't like cussing, then don't look in the comment section. But if you're bold or even stupid, I would love to see you try to make a valid point. Don't take it out on my channel though, because it has nothing to do with this. Anything you want to take out on me about this subject stays in this video alone, or I will report you and you will be disobeying my channel's terms of service. Hello, I'm Anthony Fullerton, most known to YouTube as PiffyBuilder88. And today is one of the worst moments of the entirety of 2016. I really thought it was just a joke the entire time that Donald Trump was actually attempting to run for president. But he won, which makes absolutely no sense, in my opinion. Of course, you can have a different opinion. But, here's the thing. I made this video for a reason. And it's not because of opinions. Because there is no opinion that can justify why Donald Trump would ever be a good president. Ever. I don't see any way a person like that would ever be a good president. So, I made this video because this is why Donald Trump is not a president. Okay, I know what you're all thinking. Well, at least those who voted. You probably hate me right now. I don't care. Anyway, Donald Trump, first of all, is absolutely racist. Just flat out racist. He can't control himself in some ways because of how racist he is and so how insecure he is. He's racist towards pretty much any ethnicity. Pretty much any. I've seen it all. I mean, I haven't seen everything he's ever done, but I've seen him be absolutely immature and absolutely disgusting towards anyone. It doesn't matter who they are. I've seen him in some way or another nag on someone. It doesn't matter if they're African, if they're Asian, if they're female, male. Doesn't matter if they're bisexual, transsexual. Doesn't matter. He's insulted them all. He's insulted all of us, in some ways. The fact that he's won has insulted all of us in this country. He's insulted me. And I can imagine he's insulted a lot of you. Just saying right now, I'm not religious. I'm not. I am definitely a scientist. Some religious beliefs that have actually a fair amount of backbone to them, that aren't completely just written and that's all the proof they have. Some things I can somewhat believe, and I'd want to learn more about them. There are some things like that that are really cool. But I am not someone that you would call religious. Now, I'm just saying right now, it doesn't matter if you are religious, because this is something that isn't an opinion. What I'm about to say is actually something we can tell via our genes. And the fact that it is in our genes is saying something. Basically, I wanted to say that every human on this planet originated from Africa. Every single one. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what comment you put into this description, nagging on me because you're mad at me for calling you someone who's from Africa. Everyone who is a human came from Africa. That's just a fact. It has nothing to do with your belief. It's just fact. Dead, straight on fact. Donald Trump is the equivalent of a 5-year-old in a 60-year-old body compared to Hillary Clinton, who is incredibly prepared and intelligent. And a lot of the things that people have said about her that are really bad and seem to be illegal are actually false, because no one's actually found proof that any of it happened. Of course, they only found that proof a week before the election, which means that there was not enough time to let the entire country know that Hillary Clinton isn't actually a bad person at all. I mean, anyone makes mistakes. No one's perfect. But Hillary Clinton is not a bad human. I can understand being forced into talking under pressure is absolutely intense on all parts. But the fact that Donald Trump will randomly say something so bold about a certain group or somewhere in the world that he has nothing a part of, the fact that he can say something like that on public television says something about him. And the fact that he wasn't prepared the last couple debates is also something that a lot of people should have noticed. A lot of people should have noticed that Hillary Clinton was prepared, because she has at least a little bit of skills in politics compared to him. And yeah, it just makes sense for Hillary Clinton to be president, because there's no competition. And yet somehow Donald Trump won over Hillary Clinton, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I have family members that are from Norway, and I have family members that have lived a lot of their lives in Washington State, North and South Carolina, California, and I also have some family in Utah. But here's the thing. There's only 3 people on my dad's side who are actually people who voted for Trump, out of many people, at least 30 people that I know of that voted for Hillary on my dad's side alone. Maybe even more than that, I don't even know. But that's my dad's side. I think my mom's side may be more for Trump. Neither of my parents, though, are for Trump, because they understand why having someone like that is chaos. Absolute wretch and chaos. The reason why Donald Trump won is really because of people who actually thought he was a good president, who are 50 years old and racist and sexist and just don't understand equality at all. A lot of people like that who just don't care what other people think and want themselves to be at the top, usually white male. Those are the people who are the ones who mainly voted for Trump. Crazy thing is that somehow there was also a lot of women who thought, you know what, let's vote for Trump. So that's part of it. The other part is the fact that people don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. And when you don't vote for her, because of the fact that Donald Trump is so powerful, any vote you made that wasn't, well, if you just didn't vote, you're automatically giving your vote to Donald Trump. That's just what happened. Anyone who didn't vote is giving it away to the guy in orange who does not deserve it at all, who absolutely should not have that Purple Heart that person gave him, that person who actually earned a Purple Heart. And then he's saying, oh, I feel like one of these army veterans now because I have this Purple Heart. Yay. Oh my gosh. No. That is not the way it works. You earn a Purple Heart for a reason. Donald Trump has no reason to earn a Purple Heart whatsoever. Another part is the fact that a lot of people don't think he's actually meaning what he's saying. And I would have to say that you never know with a guy like that, because he's unpredictable, which is why you shouldn't have him as a world leader at all. You can't have, it's the worst possible idea to have a world leader who's unpredictable. You should be able to find out what he wants or she wants, because there should be world leaders that are female, more of them at least. I mean, you go to places like England, they have the Queen, and various other areas. I think I've seen other areas with female world leaders, but really, America still hasn't. The quote-unquote land of the free does not have a female world leader, or has never, ever had one in their entire history of existence. That's insane. It just doesn't make sense that America, which is the quote-unquote land of the free, it mocks its own slogan. It mocks its own face with the fact that it just elected this new president. If you were to go and you were to choose, well, if there was Jeb Bush and he was there and he won, he would actually be a better president than Donald Trump. And that's saying something, because Jeb Bush got banned in at least 4 countries for the horrid things he did. And one of the things that happened under his presidency was 9/11. I hope something like that doesn't happen with Trump, because that would be absolutely catastrophic. And the fact that he wants to build a wall, and a lot of people don't take him seriously on that, is dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous. I don't want him to build a wall, but I think that's what he wants. I think he really wants to go and build a wall and keep out anyone who wants to go to the land of the free, which by that point will have more gun violence and more weed. Yet at the same time, he wants more people to not smuggle in drugs like marijuana, because they're immigrants, and he thinks that immigrants are the ones that are smuggling in marijuana. Anyone can smuggle in marijuana. You don't have to be an immigrant. It doesn't matter whether you're an immigrant or even if you're just doing it illegally behind someone's back. Someone could just be doing it in their backyard just randomly, and no one would know. It doesn't matter. You just need to be a good world leader in order to be a president. You need to be able to make quick decisions that are for the greater good. Not yourself, not just this country, but you really need to think about everyone, the whole world, because you are a part of the whole world. And as a world leader, you need to really include everyone. as a whole, not just sections of that entire group. It needs to be everyone in the entire earth. And that's not all. I can imagine that the fact that he has been partnering up with people like Putin, and people still don't think that he's taking anything seriously when it comes to that. Are you kidding? You shouldn't even think that he's not taking it seriously if he's a world leader. Because if he is joking, then that is the worst possible thing you could be doing as a president, is joking about partnering up with Vladimir Putin. You should not be joking about that as a world leader. Period. When Barack Obama went to Russia to sign a peace treaty, they didn't give him a red carpet because he was African American. All because of that. And he went and he met Vladimir Putin. He signed the peace treaty. He did his job. Donald Trump said that if no one were to give him a red carpet after he walked out of that plane, just because of the way he is, then he would have literally walked back up into his plane and flown away. That is not good. Barack Obama is one of the strongest people alive today. He is one of the strongest people who's ever lived in this world. One of the strongest humans on earth, in my opinion, because he has been through so much. And Donald Trump, who really hasn't been through much and likes to make himself look like he's been through a lot, has absolutely no clue about being there for his citizens. Barack Obama did his job, and he was an amazing president. Absolutely amazing. The fact that I'm living in 2016 and we now have Donald Trump as our president is something that I will never accept. I will not ever accept that Donald Trump is my president. Because he's not. He's not my president. Never. I'm never going to say that he is. The thing is, though, that I can also imagine that a lot of my friends have been joking about it, but I think that it's fairly possible that Donald Trump could potentially create World War III with how insane he is and how much power he has. I don't want him to at all, because that would be insane, but it's possible if he gets his way. Now here's the hope. Most of the people who are in my generation are not Republicans who are very just bland. They have no clue about the way the world works. They didn't actually want Donald Trump. Most of my friends between the ages of 18 and 13, maybe even younger, people who are in my generation, most of them are people who wanted Hillary Clinton because they understand the fact that we need equality. They understand that. I mean, you'll find one or two people in there that are like, let's go for Trump. And guess what? Those people have parents who want Trump. That's the only reason they'll ever say that. And I've met a fair amount of people who have parents like that who still wanted Hillary to win, who still wanted her to be the winner. My school had 63% of all the students voting for Hillary out of anyone. They're not votes that actually count. They're just little things that the government can look at to see where our generations are going, which does count in some ways. They don't count for the actual presidency. They count for the future. And 7% was for 7% was for Donald Trump, which is insane in itself that my school had 7% for Donald Trump. 7% compared to 63 is nothing, but it's something. So you think about that though, and that number is just going to diminish. That 7%, it's going to go down to 3% and 1%, and it's just going to be obsolete because there's going to be more and more people who actually know how to be humans. They actually know how it works, how this planet we live on is shared, how we need to share all of our stuff, and how we need to be in peace. We need to be welcoming, especially as America, especially as the country that has the slogan Land of the Free, the one that has so many free rights compared to various other countries. They are us, we as Americans need to be there for anyone. Doesn't matter who they are. We just need to be there for anyone. And we can't have people like Donald Trump. We can't. That's a not. No one should have to be under that rule. The fact that he has become the president is something that it just doesn't work, because he's not a president. He is a con artist. He is a racist man who has a lot of spray tan, and he's a narcissist and a sociopath. He's hungry for power, and the fact that so many Americans voted for him is insane. So I'm just saying to anyone from other countries and anywhere that I am ashamed of my country. I am. And I truthfully don't think I'll be able to forgive this country, the land of the free, for at least 50 years. I just won't. Of course, don't have enough money to move to Canada, if that's what you're thinking. And on that topic, last night, there were millions of people trying to escape America and go to Canada. And there were so many people on the servers to go to Canada that the servers crashed. Because so many people wanted to leave America before Donald Trump became president. So many people. I can imagine a fair amount of them made it, but I can also imagine that a majority of them didn't make it because of that server crash. Because there were so many people who really didn't want Donald Trump. I can imagine a fair amount of them were people who didn't vote. Which is ironic because that would give Donald Trump a vote for not voting. So, that's all I have to say. And I am ashamed and sorry about what America has done today and yesterday. I also wanted to say one more thing. If you want to make America, quote-unquote, great again, as if it's not already a great country, if you want to make America great again, then Donald Trump is not going to help you. Donald Trump is not going to hold your hand into that transition. He's going to make it worse. And if anything, if he gets his way, he will send America back to the 1950s.